Thousands of meters below the Pacific, in the freezing darkness of the Mariana Trench, lies a secret. Before this ocean existed, there was a continent, Lemuria, older and more incomprehensible than Atlantis, a landmass where people lived for years. Can you imagine it? A civilization that is now lost under thousands of cubic meters of water. 4 million years ago, a race of 18-meter-tall giants walked this land. They possessed a physical third eye as an organ. This continent spread across the entire Pacific, from Madagascar to Easter Island, a giant landmass now hidden under the waves. Helena Blavatsky called this history, not myth. In her book, The Secret Doctrine, she speaks of this hidden reality. In this series, we will explore Lemuria, the third root race, their technology, their downfall, and the evidence they left behind. Are you ready? I'm taking you 4 million years into the past, to the true homeland of humanity. Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, the mysterious Russian woman who traveled the world to find hidden truths. In 1888, she wrote The Secret Doctrine, describing the spiritual and physical origins of humanity. She spoke of a 7-stage evolution, where each wave is a root race with unique abilities and consciousness levels. Each root race evolved from the previous one, leading us to the subject of this video, the Lemurians. The third root race, the Lemurians, the first true physical humans, much bigger and more powerful than we are today. Blavatsky claimed her knowledge came from the mysterious Book of Zion, a source no one else has seen. But similar truths appear in Hindu texts like the Puranas and the Mahabharata, speaking of giants and lost continents. Was it myth, or did she uncover a universal truth? Let us delve deeper into the world of the Lemurians. 4 million years ago, the world was a different place. The continents were shifting, and the climate was much hotter, with no ice at the poles. In the heart of the Pacific lay Lemuria, a continent larger than Australia. A world of lush tropical forests and giant flora. From Madagascar in the west, through southern India, down to Australia and Papua New Guinea, this landmass was enormous. It reached as far east as Easter Island in Hawaii. These modern islands are but the mountain peaks of a sunken world. Everything was bigger then. Huge trees, giant fruits, and enormous animals roamed this fertile, giant continent. And in this colossal world, the greatest of all were the Lemurians, the third root race. This was their homeland. Probably 10 million square kilometers of rich life, now lost forever beneath the thousands of cubic meters of water. But who were these giants truly? Let us discover the physical reality of the Lemurians. What were the Lemurians like? According to Blavatsky, they were true giants, reaching a staggering 18 meters in height, as tall as a 6-story building. Blavatsky explains that Earth's conditions were different. A denser atmosphere and higher oxygen levels allowed for colossal life. While science points to physical constraints, Blavatsky insists that at that time, other laws were operating, etheric and spiritual laws. Physically, their skin was dark copper or reddish-brown to endure the intense tropical sun. Their forms were powerful and majestic. Their faces were wide, with strong jaws and massive teeth, built for a diet of raw, fibrous foods and hard fruits. But most remarkable was their forehead, wide and flat, housing a physical third eye right in the middle, a true physical organ. These beings were not just different in size, but in their very nature and spiritual connection, a race that stood between worlds. But what was the function of this mysterious third eye? Let us discover the powers of the Lemurian vision. The third eye is often spoken of as a metaphor, but for the Lemurians, it was a real, functional physical organ, a true eye in the middle of the forehead. This eye could see beyond our physical world and into the etheric plane, perceiving energy, auras, and thought forms invisible to us today. This gave them natural psychic abilities from birth, such as telepathy and precognition, allowing them to communicate and feel without words. However, as they focused more on the material world, this eye weakened and eventually withdrew into the skull, becoming what we now call the pineal gland. Interestingly, science notes that the pineal gland still contains light-sensitive cells, just like a real eye, regulating our sleep and light perception. Even today, the tuatara reptile in New Zealand possesses a true pineal eye on its head, a living trace of this ancient anatomical structure. Could it be that our own pineal gland is a relic of this ancient Lemurian vision, a sleeping power buried deep within our evolution? Let us explore the psychic depths and hidden powers of our forgotten ancestors. How did the Lemurians reproduce? Initially, they were genderless, reproducing by division, much like plants or simple animals today. Later, they became hermaphroditic, possessing both sexes within a single individual, a concept mirrored in the androgynous myths of Plato. This stage carried both male and female organs, allowing for self-reproduction. It is a memory hidden in the genetic history of our race. Then came the era of the cosmic egg, where separate sexes emerged, but life still began within eggs, just as reptiles and birds do today. The female laid large eggs, and giant babies grew inside. This cosmic egg myth lives on in almost every ancient culture. Finally, the shift to live birth occurred, marking their transition into true mammals. This triggered a major change in their physical form. Carrying giant offspring inside the womb was impossible, so height decreased. Over millions of years, 18-meter giants became the humans we know. How did these giants live? What kind of cities did they build? Let us explore Lemurian civilization. Were the Lemurians primitive? Far from it. They possessed a civilization unlike any other, building cities from living organic structures shaped by their minds. Through psychic technology and telekinesis, they could manipulate matter, lifting giant stones with pure concentration. No tools, no machines, only the mind. Blavatsky says the Lemurians could move giant objects just by thinking, a power that allowed them to construct impossible monuments across the planet. While modern science is skeptical, quantum mechanics shows that consciousness affects matter. The Lemurians understood this law at a macroscopic level. The moai of Easter Island weigh up to 80 tons. Local legends say these stones walked through spiritual power, mana, the power of telekinesis. Could these monuments be the final works of Lemurian survivors? A remnant of a race that could shape the physical world with the power of their minds? They shaped reality with pure thought, leaving behind traces that modern science still struggles to explain with mere ropes and wooden sledges. But how did this great civilization vanish? What led to the fall of the giants? Let us explore the end of Lemuria, a critical turning point, the fall of Lemuria. It began with the division of genders, as male and female became separate individuals for the first time. Blavatsky calls this the spiritual fall, the burial of spirit in the body, a necessary descent to experience and learn from the material realm. As focus shifted to the physical body and its pleasures, the third eye weakened, eventually shrinking and turning into the pineal gland. Psychic powers faded, telepathy weakened, and prophecy disappeared. The Lemurians became increasingly addicted to physical and material pleasures. In their late period, some Lemurians crossed natural boundaries, conducting forbidden genetic experiments against the laws of evolution and cosmic order. The result was a race of hybrid creatures, beings that live on in our myths as the centaur, the minotaur, and the sphinx. Real, failed experiments. These were not mere legends, but physical transgressions that nature could not forgive. The gods watched as their creations defied the divine order. For these acts against nature, the end was near. The giants' time was running out. Join us as we explore the great catastrophe next. To restore cosmic balance, Lemuria faced its inevitable end through 4 great catastrophes. From a million years ago, the first wave struck, shattering the continent. India and Madagascar drifted away as the plates moved rapidly. The Lemurians were forced to adapt to a world that was literally falling apart beneath them. As land decreased and resources failed, the Great Migration began. The giants abandoned their sinking paradise to find refuge in distant, stable lands. Across mountains and across seas, they traveled for generations. They were the first global explorers, carrying the remnants of their psychic technology with them. In these new lands, they encountered early humans. Through interbreeding, their bloodlines merged, creating a more adaptable race, the Atlanteans. The last Lemurian islands vanished 11,500 years ago. Their physical presence was gone, but their genetic and spiritual legacy remained buried within us. Only shadows of this giant race remain today, hidden within our legends and the dormant power of the pineal gland, the remnant of the third eye. Is Lemuria truly gone, or is it awakening within us? Let us discover the final traces of the giants in our modern world. Not everyone died. Before each catastrophe, the wise, priests and scientists whose third eyes still worked, saw the future and prepared for the end. They built ships and preserved their knowledge on stone tablets. When the waters rose, they escaped, scattering in 4 directions to save humanity's legacy. Some went east to Tibet, India, and China, high, safe regions where they established secret monasteries to pass down Lemurian wisdom through generations. Others went west to the Americas long before Columbus. The Maya, Aztecs, and Inca, their civilizations find their roots in these Lemurian ancestors. In the north, they crossed the Bering Land Bridge, reaching North America. The ancestors of Native Americans may carry the blood of the giants. In the south, Australia remained. The Aborigines are the purest descendants, preserving Lemurian DNA and knowledge for over 100,000 years. These immigrants taught farming, astronomy, and mathematics. This is why all ancient civilizations share mysterious similarities. They all learned from Lemuria. The legacy of the giants lives on in every corner of our world. Is there evidence for Lemuria? Beneath the waters of Yonaguni, Japan, lies a massive stone structure with perfect terraces and steps, sunk 10,000 years ago. Scientists debate, is it a natural formation or the work of an unknown ancient civilization, a relic from before the glaciers melted and the seas rose? If man-made, who built such a giant structure when history says only simple hunter-gatherers lived there? Perhaps the answer lies in Lemuria. Thousands of miles away, Easter Island, the navel of the world, stands as a peak of a sunken continent. Its Moai statues face the ocean in eternal guard. How did its people find this isolated summit across 2,000 kilometers of open sea? Perhaps they were guided by ancestral memories of a lost home. The legends say a sacred island exists in the east, the home of ancestors. They went there not to discover, but to remember the lost world of Lemuria. They stand waiting, remembering a civilization that the ocean claimed, but history cannot completely erase. The summit of a forgotten world. But what happened to the Lemurian DNA? Does it still exist among us? What does science say about Lemuria? Clearly and plainly, impossible. Geology and the theory of plate tectonics do not allow for such a continent to exist. The floor of the Pacific is young, only 200 million years old. It is dense oceanic crust, not light continental crust. There is no room for a lost continent. Fossils also disagree. 4 million years ago, there were no giants. Only primitive ancestors like Lucy, standing barely 1 meter tall in Africa. An 18-meter human is biomechanically impossible. Bones would break, and the heart would fail to pump blood to such heights. It simply defies physical laws. Science insists the pineal gland was never an eye. It is a hormonal gland, and at no stage in mammalian evolution did a physical third eye exist in humans. These are science's strong, logical arguments. And yet, they don't explain everything. How do we explain Yonaguni, or the Malay of Easter Island? Why do over 200 cultures share flood myths? Why are pyramids across the globe so similar? Is it all just coincidence, or a shared common source? Science provides the logic, but the mystery remains. Which one will you believe? The choice between cold facts and ancient echoes is yours. Beyond the physical continent, Lemuria represents a profound stage in the evolution of consciousness, a spiritual descent into matter and its eventual reascension. Lemuria marks the moment spirit entered the body, a necessary fall to experience the physical world, knowing both pain and pleasure for the first time. The third eye was our spiritual vision. In Lemuria, this eye was wide open, but it closed as our attention shifted entirely to the material world. The cosmic egg symbolized our untapped potential. Everything was inside, waiting for the right moment to burst forth into new life and awareness. The giants embodied divine power in physical form. Lemuria was a world where the spirit was still unlimited, vast, and physically powerful. But the division of genders gave birth to the ego, the separation of I and you. This was the transition from spiritual unity to the pain of duality. Lemuria's message is clear. Power without wisdom is dangerous. Technology without spirituality is destructive. Without balance, even giants will fall. Is Lemuria still within you? Let us look for the final traces of this ancient wisdom. What does Lemuria tell us today? It serves as a mirror, reflecting our own era, the fifth root race. We too possess incredible power, technology, and artificial intelligence. But where is our wisdom? Lemuria warns that power without balance makes the fall inevitable. Just because we can modify life, should we? Just because we have power, should we use it? We risk losing ourselves to matter, allowing our third eye to close and our intuition to fade. Just as the ancients fell, we too are on a dangerous path of disconnection. But there is a difference. We can choose. We can be conscious. We can awaken our intuition, our spirituality, and rediscover the balance that was lost. Lemuria's message is a roar. Wake up. Remember who you are. You were once giants, powerful, wise, and psychic. That lineage is still alive in your DNA. That strength is not lost. It is waiting to be found again within you. If you search, if you remember, the power of the ancestors can be yours once more. Use it wisely. We stand at a crossroads. Will we follow the giants into the ocean, or will we rise with their wisdom into a new era of harmonious consciousness? Join us for our final chapter, as we conclude the saga of Lemuria and the future of humanity. The awakening has begun. Are you ready to rise? The story of Lemuria ends here, yet its mystery lives on within our very DNA. When you look at the Pacific, remember the giants who once walked those lost green lands. Whether physical history or profound metaphor, Lemuria's lesson remains. Power without wisdom leads to destruction. We must find the balance that they lost. We are the new giants, technological masters, yet spiritual dwarfs. But it is not too late to reopen our third eye through silence, nature, and meditation. Lemuria lies at the bottom of the ocean and in the depths of our souls, waiting for us to look inward and remember who we truly are. Perhaps one day we will find the proof. But until then, the true reality remains hidden in the consciousness plane, waiting to be rediscovered. This channel is dedicated to uncovering these truths. We will continue to explore the forbidden knowledge of the secret doctrine and the 7 root races. Share your thoughts in the comments. Was Lemuria real, or is it a legend? Subscribe and join us as we dive deeper into the mysteries of our origin. Take care of yourselves until the next video. Remember, the power of the ancestors is within you. Until we meet again,